I know, it's when I did this Netflix thing. I knew when I got off stage where I went wrong.
Yeah.
How I prepared for it the wrong way. Like but this is part of the fucking journey.
Yeah.
And you look in the mirror, you man up, you take that notebook out, you get the feather, you get some chicken blood, and you start writing.
Yeah.
And then you get on fucking stage, and that's it.
Yeah.
And there comes a point where you fall in love with it. Like this morning, I called in for spots at the store at 9:01. There was nobody there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No. You can call it 10:30 when they're supposed to be there.
But that means that you're back.
Yeah.
I went back to my open mic days. Remember when they said if you want to be on open mic, you got to call Tuesdays at 3?
Yeah.
You made sure you called at 2:59.
I remember going to open mic in Kansas City. The show started at 8:30. We'd be there at 5. Hanging out, we'd grab dinner, and we'd just sit there and write for fucking
Where'd you start at?
Started at Stanford and Sons in Westport. So they
What year was this?
98. So
The open mic was on Sundays.
the open mic in Kansas, our open mic was Mondays. So I'd go to work, go to college, come in, and then I'd come straight to the open mic, and we'd be there. Especially initially when Emery ran that open mic, there'd be we'd be there an hour and a half beforehand. Like people would go up, rehearse their sets, and they'd get notes, and like people would try to tag it. It was a very communal atmosphere, and but at the very least, you got to go up there and run shit before you actually did the show.
All right, so Stanford and Sons had how many clubs at that time?
Just the one.
Okay, so when I got into comedy in 91, in 92, I dated a girl who was from Lawrence, Kansas.
Go Hawks.
And I drove home with her to watch.
You drove home without a what?
I drove home with her to Lawrence.
Oh, okay.
She was from Lawrence, but then she went to Jayhawk. And we went to watch them play. And then we drove on a Sunday night for me to do an open mic at Stanford and Sons. And the guy that ran the room then wasn't Emery. It was somebody else, if you say his name. But this is 1992.
Yeah.
You were a kid.
I absolutely was.
And I went up there. I thought I was hot shit. They gave me 6 minutes. It was just brutal. And I remember I bombed in front of her mother, like her fucking stepfather.
They brought the family out to watch you?
You have no choice. People invite themselves.
Yeah. Oh, they're like, oh, you're doing comedy.
They invite themselves. The mother didn't like me. The stepfather had a wig. Everybody had a fucking wig in her family. Her stepfather and her real father both had wigs.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Well, once Grandpa's pulling it off, you're like, I got it.
And she was a waitress at the comedy club. She was a waitress at the bar where I did comedy on Tuesdays. So she kind of knew where I was in my comedy career. I was just, it was just a Tuesday night for me. They paid me $50 and fed me. And I sold pills there. I sold Valium. So I would make people come up there. They would pay to come see me. They would go, oh, you have a draw. No, I make them fucking come up. It was just such a scam I was doing.
Yeah.
But that year was such, I would just do Tuesdays. I wouldn't do the Comedy Works. I would just do the Boulder Broker on Tuesdays. And then Saturdays I would drive to fucking an hour to get on this place that was huge. And I just go bomb. It was like a bowling alley in Denver at 11 o'clock. That was my repertoire.
Yeah.
And then I started getting guest sets at McKelvey's, and I would just bomb. Bomb, man. What a fucking... It was horrible. I had nothing else going on, so it was like, who cares? I just keep bombing.
I've heard a lot of negative things about starting comedy in LA, but the one thing I'm very grateful for is how many open mics I have.
Oh, yeah.
I have tons of open mics. I've been very spoiled, so I've been going to one mainly. And last night I went with another buddy of ours, Eric, who was just on the podcast. We tried 3 that I'd never done before. And you had to wait at the bar for 2 hours. It wasn't as easy as just going to the fourth wall, but it was fun.
I enjoyed having the one show a week, especially starting, because it gave you spent all week looking forward to that one. That was your show.
That was your show. That was I wouldn't sleep on Monday nights.
Oh yeah, or Sunday nights.
No, I would do my Tuesday night.
Oh yeah.
My Tuesday night, I would stay up on Monday night and write. My friend was a baker, And he would take Tuesdays off, so he would stay up all night Monday and bake. And I would taste all the ice creams and gelatins and all the fucking parfaits he made. And I'd stay there with him drinking coffee all night, writing jokes.
Yeah.
And I would not sleep.
It was, you just looked for, like, that was your night too. Like, it was like your club. You'd go there, all your friends were there by that, especially if you'd been doing open mic for more than a year. Like, most of your friends were those people. So it was like, it was equivalent to like going to like a recreational softball game. You know, you just like, your team's there, you guys are ready to do it, you're hoping to win, have a good night. And, you know, some nights you didn't. Some nights you did.
How long did it take Stanford and Son to... Now, what other clubs were close to you at that time? It was just Stanford and Son.
It's just Stanford's, and it was
That's
just
it.
Westport. And then, but the cool thing was, like, you could go up to Omaha 2.5 hours and do an open mic, or St. Louis. And so... And that's what was cool about, like, you couldn't send anyone links. You'd have to, like, make a VHS, and that shit was expensive. So we would, like, 4 of us would drive up to Omaha and do an open mic. And then one of us would try to stay sober enough to drive back. And I honestly don't know how some of us made it home without DUIs or just long trails into a cornfield, especially driving back from Omaha. Like, we're just hammered drunk.
There are memories that, like, there's memories in my life of, like, I had, you know, a baseball game or, like, Joe Namath football camp. But those first 10 years of comedy, they're fucking edged in my mind, priceless forever. And there was a lot of hard times, like from shitting out a window in Seattle in an office like this. I would just get up in the middle of the night and go to the hallway and shit out the window, and, you know, because it was an office with no bathroom.
Yeah.
To just, like, I can't even describe it. Like, that journey is so fucking unique, and you have to do it. You have to do that journey. That whole, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow journey.
Yeah.
Like, you have no idea. Like, this is it. This is it. Like, we got 3 weeks worth of gigs. We got $16. And this is it.
I remember being in Wisconsin doing these one-nighters.
For, what was her name up there that booked the Comedy Cafe? She booked Marquette University.
Oh, I don't remember.
And then she gave it to her daughter.
This was a dude. I think this dude's name was Hansen or something.
Tom Hansen.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I show up to this gig, and like 99 times out of 100, if you want to advance, you just show up and like, hey, can I just, after you do the show, you're like, hey, can I get some cash on the work I just did? Well, this was like a bar where they like had contracted the workout. I was new to this whole concept, and they're like, no, we don't. I'm like, I have $18 and 200 miles to get. Like, I don't have enough money for food and gas. So if I don't have any cash, and dude had to wire me money.
We're going in like fucking Marines. You understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.